There's so many vendors that are complementary. And at the end of the day, it's for the partners to choose.
Grow my business, reduce risk, and gain efficiencies.
Hey everybody, welcome to Technically Unraveled. I'm Kristen, the Senior Director of Microsoft Go-to-Market here at Pax8. Before we get started, please make sure you like, share, subscribe. We want to continue seeing you here because we've got a ton of content coming your way. First, on our updates today, we've covered a ton of things Copilot. So I am going to ask that you go back to a couple of our previous episodes on Technically Unraveled. We've got people from Microsoft. We talk about Copilot on launch. There's a lot of stuff. We even cover AI readiness. So please make sure you go through. Definitely some really relevant stuff, very timely. Want to make sure we're calling those out. Next, Microsoft monthly updates. We hosted one in January. I guess it's still January. I don't know where time's going, everybody. But look, want you to go to www.youtube.com/Pax8Cloud. You've got Technically Unraveled on there. You've got the game. You've got Academy Live. Scroll on down. You're going to see all of our Microsoft monthly updates. The one in January, obviously super Copilot heavy. We talk about dynamics. We talk about a ton of stuff. We give you a little bit of a sneak peek of what we know on the Azure Copilot that's in private preview right now. So please make sure you go check that out. We host those every single month. So you can also go sign up, be a recurring guest. We want to make sure that you're getting in there, asking those questions. We're on the back end to actually answer those live. But as always, you reach out to your CAMs, your account team, whoever that is, and they are always ready to help. Next, we did pull out a document, and it's about driving Teams adoption. I know we've been working in this hybrid world for quite some time now, and there's a lot of different tools. And we always want to make sure that, hey, you know what, as we're continuing to build, let's make sure we got our basics right. So it goes through the prerequisites, it goes through frameworks, it goes through phases. So make sure you check this out because there's something new. Not quite brand new, but it's gaining a lot of traction. And our next point's Microsoft Teams Premium. Now, you might not have looked into it yet, but it's got a lot of AI functionality. We've got this graphic we'll pull on up, and it's going to show you some of the differences of regular Teams versus Teams Premium. You want those meeting recaps, you want those action items, you want some of those things. Teams Premium is a really great option to look into if you're wanting to start dabble into AI. Obviously, Copilot M365 is ready and available in the channel right now, but I don't want you to miss out on another option. We do see a lot of our partners doing a little bit of a mix and match scenario here. Want to make sure we're calling this out for all of you. Now, I am super excited that we are going to have SIPPIO joining us today, but first, I want to intro Cam Goldman. He's our co-host today. Thanks for joining, Cam.
Thanks for having me, Kristen. It's great to be back.
Excellent. Tell us who you are and what you do here at Pax8.
So I'm Cam Goldman, Senior Director of Vendor Strategic Initiatives. My role at Pax8 is bridging the vendor experience throughout Pax8 and ensuring that we create and hone in on the best vendor experience for all of the vendors that are within our marketplace, which I think just creates a great partner experience as well. So those are my main focuses here at Pax8.
Awesome. I mean, as you as viewers know, you know that I usually specialize in Microsoft, so I'm super excited to have Cam as my co-host. He knows so much about these other vendors, including SIPPIO. So Steve, we want to go ahead and welcome you on as well. Thanks for joining us and taking the time today.
Thanks for having me.
So Steve, just give us a quick, intro on who you are and maybe what do you do at SIPPIO?
Yeah, so my name's Steve Forkham. I am Director of Program Management here at SIPPIO. I've been with the company for about a year. Prior to that, I worked for a legacy vendor for about a dozen. At SIPPIO, we are focused pretty much, like a razor on helping partners succeed in this new growth area, which is adoption of Teams Phone. And we just recently launched with Pax8, and we're really excited about the opportunity that Pax8 and the Pax8 partners are offering us to bring this solution to market and really win, win, win across the board.
I love it. I love it. Cam, I think you're going to start us out with our first question of the day for Steve.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's such great timing, right? All the things that are happening with Copilot, Teams Premium,
Hmm.
and then just 2 days ago, Pax8 and SIPPIO have announced our general availability together. So uh, that's usually not something that just happens really quickly. I know we've been working on this partnership for a long time, and we finally got here and went GA. But starting it off, what really was that impetus? What brought SIPPIO to Pax8, and how did those conversations go?
Yeah, so I'll tell you, we're a channel exclusive company. Partners love working with Scipio because they don't have to worry about us going around them to the customer, going to the side of them to the customer. We were born in the channel. We understand the value that partners bring to opportunities. But one of the things that I really love about the Pax8 partner community is the fact that they all see Teams as the opportunity that it is, not an obstacle in selling something else. They're very Microsoft focused. A lot of our other channel partners are more centered around, I need to try and sell, a category. I need to sell UCAS, and Teams is an obstacle. And this was what led me to move to Scipio in the first place. Was every single time I was talking to a customer about a legacy solution, the question kept coming up of, we have Teams. How does this integrate with Teams? How does this work with Teams? So the team here at Scipio, I've known them for a long, long time, and they had basically forecast this back in 2019. They entered this space and they were focused on delivering simplicity, making it easy to turn on calling in Teams because there's no shortage of options to do it. So they saw the opportunity in the market. They built a platform to deliver it, and they're channel focused, so they empower the partners. And the Pax8 partners, I joke around that, a lot of times with channel partners, I'm trying to teach somebody Spanish who speaks Spanish how to speak English, trying to get them to see Teams as the opportunity that it is. With the Pax8 partners, you guys speak English. I don't need to do it. So now it's a lot easier, a lot faster to get you guys going and really kind of see the success. We've been in pilot for a couple of weeks. We just went live a couple of days ago, and we're already seeing a flood of demand. So really, really excited to be here.
Awesome. No, I mean, that is just so exciting. And I'm glad that we were able to snag you right when we were actually going live together. And I want to go through what are some of the core competencies of Scipio, because I
Hmm.
want to make sure that our partners kind of get to know you too as a vendor.
Sure, sure. The core competencies, we make it easy. That's our mission in life. Is we think technology has just really gotten complicated and unnecessarily so a lot of times. And what we want to do is wipe away the complexity and make things simple and easy and flexible for partners. And it sounds kind of simplistic, but you'd be surprised at how much hard work goes into making something simple. But the value is that we can enable partners to enter these growth markets with no overhead, no barriers of entry, and we have a very methodical approach to helping partners understand Scipio, learn how to use the platform, and then help them succeed in the market. Because we do more than just make widgets and put them through a wholesaler and say, here you go, sell these. We've got a whole set of collateral that helps a partner with business development, understanding the market, using content to build drip campaigns and to really succeed. We don't want to just show up, throw up and show you our demos and then say, all right, we'll talk to you, at some point in the future. We really want to be a good partner to help everybody kind of win in this marketplace and to get an unreasonable share of the growth and adoption that Teams is going through.
And the
Absolutely.
simplicity is so huge because while our partners are more technical and our partners are the ones who are managing all of this licensing for their customers, the customers themselves are not inherently technology experts, and Scipio is doing such a great job of bringing that simplicity, but it's
Hmm.
also giving those partners a leg up in bringing digital transformation to their customers, right? And it's a big buzzword, but again, I keep going back to what's happening within Teams because it's all there now with Premium Copilot, and then having Scipio and being able to bring voice. You're consolidating everything. So how are you seeing that with customers, that digital transformation and the success partners are having there?
Yeah, so here's the thing. Customers are struggling with the legacy phone system. They're looking at upgrade costs that are six some odd figures, and they're kind of thinking, do I need to keep spending here? Because I'm not really seeing much of a return. And what's happening is voice is no longer a thing that you buy, but instead a feature that you turn on. And what most customers are kind of at the dawn of realizing is that they've already bought their next phone system. It's Teams. You're using Teams, and by migrating to Teams, there's a ton of value. You can cut your costs, you can increase productivity, and with new innovation like Copilot, you're actually getting more value for your telecom spend. So more and more organizations are awakening to that. But to your point, it's complicated. A lot of times, if a customer says, "Hey, I just want to turn on calling in Teams," the options that are out there, it's like there is no option for just turning on calling in Teams. It's like, well, do you want direct routing? Do you want operator connect? Do you want a calling plan? Which one do you want? And if I'm a CIO, I don't live in this world. I don't know. I just want to turn on calling. Why is it this hard? We make it simple. We don't deal with that. You want calling? We turn on calling. You don't have to worry about what pipe it goes down or anything else. We take care of the tech.
I love the simple approach that SIPPIO takes. And I see in the chat over here, and we've got somebody asking, how is SIPPIO leveraging Copilot? Is there any integration into AI right now in your company?
So it's not so much that SIPPIO is leveraging Copilot, it's our customers that are embracing Copilot. And here's how. So when you have a legacy phone system, AI is not going to get there. It's on premise. AI just you can't add Copilot to a legacy phone system. One of the big values of migrating to Teams Phone is that if you invest in Copilot for the rest of your Office suite, and there's a ton of reason to do it, I use it pretty much religiously, it now will extend to your phone calls. And for a channel partner, this helps address one of the biggest concerns that customers have had about migrating to Teams Phone is, I use this saying that, the IT decision maker, the CIO, CTO, they've got the good devil, bad devil on their shoulders, their telecom admin, their Microsoft admin. The telecom admin's whispering in the ear, you can't move there. They're missing features. It's missing functionality. This legacy call park and page thing that, was developed 30 years ago is a deal breaker for our business. And on the Microsoft side, they're saying, hey, we're in Teams. We should just move to Teams. You can save money. But with Copilot, it's changing the paradigm for the customer because now Teams has the features that matter. Like, what's more important, call park and page or having my sales reps' phone calls summarized, action items tracked, follow-up emails created? It's just changing the paradigm for that CIO. And for partners, it's helping them deal with one of the biggest objections that comes up. And then we see a future where voice becomes the data specifically from voice becomes the gold for these organizations to mine through. And Copilot will just chew that up and really give you some even more amazing insights. We're just scratching the surface of what the future looks like with this, but it all starts with having Teams Phone turned on, and we make it easy to turn on Teams Phone.
Love it. I love it a lot. Now, when we're looking at just different ways that partners used to go to market, and I think SIPPIO is disrupting that. And I think it's due to the simplicity. I think that as partners are seeing, it might not be as complicated as they're thinking. Where does SIPPIO sit in this and the disruption of what used to be versus what we're going towards now?
Yeah, a lot of partners saw their value in drawing boxes on a whiteboard and talking about how this acronym connects to that acronym. And, you know, if you ever saw the movie Finding Dory, there was this one scene where the baby turtle says to the father how you're going to jump out of the East Australian current, and the father fish looks at him and he goes, "I know you're saying something important, but I just don't understand what you're saying." That is what channel partners have been doing to customers forever. What drawing board, acronyms, this connects to that, that connects to this. The customers sit there and go, "You sound really smart, but I just don't understand what you're saying." And what we do is we make it fast, we make it flexible, and we make it easy. Quoting this thing is as easy as shopping on Amazon. Activation happens like that. It's as fast as turning on Netflix. And the platform's flexible because it supports not just Teams, but also Zoom. So if you have a customer, and this is really big in the education space where they operate a mixed environment, you can move users from one platform to the other without having to do number ports, without having to deal with the headaches. That empowers a partner to change their value proposition. Instead of being the person that keeps the lights on, I'm the person that solves problems for you. I'm the one that's going to help you cut your costs. We're all dealing with this era of efficiency. Cutting costs is huge. I'm the one that has the key to that. Increasing productivity is powerful. I'm the one that can give your knowledge workers 8 hours a week back by simply dealing with the app sprawl, by making work less work. And I'm the one that can help you juggle all of these different environments with a nexus point of connectivity. That's how we're helping those partners kind of modernize into a trusted advisor that the partner or that the customer relies on to solve problems, not keep the lights on.
Love it.
And I love what you're saying about, call park page and some of those metrics and using Microsoft Teams as that super app, because those are all things, those are outputs of the employee experience, right? And if you're doing some of these things that SIPPIO is enabling partners to bring to their customers, they're improving that employee experience. And when those outputs come along and you start to see those metrics, they are going to be representative of the things that you've already put in, right? And you've improved everyone's experience and you've improved everyone's ability to do their work. So now they're going to be that much more successful and the metrics are going to show it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, at the end of the day, when you make people's work tools just work easier, it makes work a heck of a lot less work. I mean, think about all of the different ways that we have to try and get work done. I mean, heck, I've got a folder on my phone with like 8 different messaging apps in it. In the past, IT used to be the one to do federation, make this service talk to that service. I'm now the federator, right? It's on me. I've got to figure out this person's on this app, this person's on that person's on that app. So from a professional perspective, if I've got to use this app to make a phone call, this app to do a video meeting, this app to do a messaging tool, if I can consolidate that down to a single app, now all of a sudden my life is a heck of a lot easier because I just go one place to deal with everything. If I'm looking for a file, if I'm trying to meet with somebody, if I'm trying to message a friend, if I've got one place to go, that means I've got more time to reach out to customers, to talk to partners, to just get work done, which then returns time to my personal life. So it is a win-win-win all around.
Yeah, it absolutely
That
is.
is awesome.
And then you add Copilot to it, right?
Oh, it's
Why
so
not?
it's even better.
I keep this digital transformation. It's happening, and it's happening at a pace that I don't think has been recognized by the channel in decades prior, because it's really getting a huge infusion of jet fuel, and that's
100%.
branding that we're going to hold on to here at Pax8. I tease. So Steve, I think some of the things that partners might see today, like inaction, right, is one of the enemies of change here. Is everyone has a phone system, but what are some of those pain points? What are some of those things that partners can address with their customer and really kind of help guide them towards consolidating that app sprawl and being able to leverage SIPPIO?
Yeah, so the thing is, you've got to understand that when you're talking to the CIO, the CTO, where they're sitting, see, the decision makers are always risk adverse. They're always concerned about making a change. The status quo is usually the safest path for a CIO. So you've got to create what I call a permission structure for that CIO to understand the value of making the change that you're proposing. So when you talk to them about moving away from a legacy phone system to Teams phone, you want to give them logical data points that help them change their mind. So the first is cutting costs. Again, we're in an area of efficiency. I think Facebook calls this the year of cost savings. Helping an organization save up to 45% off of their total cost of ownership, powerful stuff, right? What does that mean for payroll? That means I might not have to cut as many people if I can cut costs out of the way we make phone calls. By consolidating the app sprawl for end users, giving back up to 8 hours a week of productivity to a knowledge worker, that's super powerful. And then third, understanding the value of innovation like Copilot and what that can do for your organization across the way that they work, including with phone calls, that becomes another data point for that CIO. So when they're sitting there thinking about this pivot and they've got those two angel and devil on their shoulders, call park and page, Copilot, it's an easy decision, right? So a channel
Yes.
partner's got to understand those 3 key points and talk to that CIO about the value, because that's how they're going to find the actual path to success.
And I mean, change can be scary, especially when you're looking at risk. What are we doing? I mean, you look at Chat GPT, how quick it took off, and people are having to figure out how do we make things secure. Steve, I'm not going to lie. The first conversation I had about telco, I was like, you've lost me. You had me at the Nemo thing. That was what was happening. Like, they were drawing symbols. I had nothing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when SIPPIO came in and they said, hey, you know what, bringing on this new vendor, it could work really well with Microsoft. I was like, all right, okay, let me dip my toe in here. And it was a little bit less scary. So what are some of those features in SIPPIO that says, hey, you know what, we don't overcomplicate it? Like, what makes it so easy at SIPPIO?
The first rule of telco is we don't talk about telco. That's the first rule of SIPPIO. We just make it simple. Right? You don't need a PhD in SIP and in interconnects and all and carrier and PSTN and all this, like all that other BS acronym that nobody understands. You don't need it. We make it fast, we make it flexible, we make it easy. I keep saying that tagline, but it's important. We've got one SKU. Like quoting this thing literally is as easy as shopping on Amazon. How many users do they need? They need SIPPIO Connect. That includes everything you need. It includes your phone minutes. It includes your phone number. It includes moving your number over to our platform. The quoting tool, our portal, gives a partner a single pane of glass to manage all of their customers. They can manage important stuff like E911. They can change things one by one or do a bulk change to their customers. But the key is, again, we've boiled the water out of the pot, and the sugar that's left after the evaporation is what we are. We make it simple. We've taken out all of that complexity. We deal with it on our side. You don't have to worry about it at all. So the first rule of telco is we don't talk about telco. We just enable a partner to accelerate in the market, talk about the value that Teams Phone can turn on for that customer, and then, oh, by the way, we make it simple for you to do it.
I love that tagline.
Yeah, I love
I
it.
gotta quote that. I gotta trademark that
I
Yeah,
put it in
let's
the
put
chat
that.
just in case. You know, we got to save that one.
before anybody else grabs that. That's mine.
Hey, for this next one, I'm going to ask our producers to mute Kristen so that she's not able to hear this next question. But you know, SIPPIO is not just a Microsoft play. There's a greater opportunity here. So, Steve, can you tell us where some of those opportunities live for partners that might have customers leveraging tools outside of Microsoft?
Yeah, sure. I mean, at the end of the day, the whole point is customers are leveraging their collaboration platform as their next phone system. Teams, by and large, has the largest install base of these, but there's another vendor that has kind of made a name for themselves. They're a little upstart. Maybe you heard them. They're called Zoom. There's a lot of people that use Zoom, and our platform supports both. So if you have, and this is common again in the education space where you've got a mixed environment, you've got some users on Teams, you got some users on Zoom, or maybe you make an acquisition of a company and they're using Zoom, you're a team shop, you want to migrate them over. Our platform becomes a nexus point between these leading collaboration platforms. So if you're a partner and your customer says, hey, you know what, we're a Zoom shop. I love what you're talking about, Teams and Microsoft and Copilot, but we're a Zoom shop. You can actually introduce the exact same SKU and the exact same value proposition to that customer that's using Zoom Phone and turn it on with SIPPIO, and we make it just as easy. We're a member of the Zoom Peering Exchange as well as being a Microsoft Operator Connect Accelerator.
Back to Microsoft. I'm just kidding. No, it's a crowded market. I mean, there's a lot of different options, and so when you look at SIPPIO versus maybe competitors, is there anything that makes SIPPIO just stand out a little bit more that you're saying like, hey, you know what, this is kind of our value that we're really honing in on?
Yeah, there's no shortage of options out there to turn on calling in Teams, but I will tell you, we are the only ones that make it simple, right? And we are also leaning into another term, reliable. We're Azure native. We were built from the ground up in Azure, so we live right next door to Teams. We're not sitting in a colo somewhere. We're hopping through, maps in order to get there. And that increases not just the call quality, but it gives us more reliability. We've never had an outage in our history. and we offer a 5 nines SLA to customers. So if you introduce SIPPIO to your customer, you don't have to worry that you're introducing some Joey Bag of Donuts provider that's operating out of their garage somewhere with a carrier, a single carrier link. We're fully robust. We're in 8 different Azure points of presence around the world. Our carrier network, we're an aggregator. We can get phone numbers in over 80 countries globally with single provider, single bill simplicity. So the main thing that really helps us stand out is 3 things. 1, we make it easy. 2, we have the reach and we're reliable. And 3, we're channel exclusive. So for partners, again, they don't have to worry that we're going to go around them. They don't have to worry about another vendor kind of competing with them. We are confident to stay right behind you and help you succeed, because their success is Pax8's success is our success.
That's a
We're seeing a lot
solid
of
3.
vendors. Yeah, that's great. And I'll say too, we're seeing a lot of vendors go Azure native, and within Pax8, I think it's a great testament to a commitment to the MSP channel, not just that vendors are saying it, but they're actually building their tools on the same platform that MSPs are leveraging by and large. So it's great to see, and it's a huge. That's something I didn't even know. So the 5.9 SLA is great. I'm excited to bring that to market.
Yeah, we've never had an outage, and it's just a testament to Azure.
Never. That
That's
is
awesome.
incredible.
Nope.
Our Azure guy somewhere, he's very excited. I can guarantee you.
Yeah.
Well, he'll be more
save that
excited
one.
because each seat of SIPPIO helps retire Azure quota too. So we'll have to talk about that.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
Love it. All right. Steve, we're getting to the end of our time here. The call to action. We're live in Marketplace. We're GA. What can partners do? How can they find out more about SIPPIO?
Reach out to your account manager, schedule what we call a discover session. We'll give you a quick walkthrough of SIPPIO, our value proposition. We'll give you a glimpse of Portal, and we'll get you enabled and get you running to sell. There's no commitment. There's no, you don't have to invest anything to learn about it, to get up and running. And frankly, it's just the easiest sale you're ever going to make. And we just make it go faster and we make it more profitable. So reach out to your channel account manager or visit sippio.io to learn more about the solution.
Love it. Thank you. And SIPPIO live on Marketplace. So we got all the features and benefits there. We've got the $0 SKU. You could check it out, start getting into the SIPPIO platform, demos on demand. Mm-hmm. Be sure to check out Academy. We've got Academy courses. I believe that we've linked that in the bio of the show as well. So Steve, can't thank you enough. Appreciate the time.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
I think we're at time here. So with that, I just want to thank everyone for joining. If there's anything else you want to see from Technically Unraveled, the only show on the internet that unravels technology, be sure to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments. See you next week. We're talking to Nick Heddy, Chief Commerce Officer at Pax8. We're going to be talking about the marketplace, the evolution of Pax8, the influence of customer buying behavior on the channel, and how we're tethering these customers to MSPs. Be sure to join us next week here on YouTube, Thursday, 2 p.m. Mountain Time.